Hey, it's great to be here at MTSU today. We're talking about a little bit of education. We're talking about the new normal. What's education going to look like moving forward, and how can we best address it? We were able to meet with the Director of Federal Programs for Polk County High School. He's here on the campus, and today he was given the Administrator of the Year award. And I mean, we're just having how are we going to recruit teachers moving forward?
Yes.
How are we going to do things? And we appreciate MTSU is the #1 college of education in the state and producing graduates for our state. And people don't understand that or don't know that. So this is a very critical moment in our history in our state. And MTSU plays a pivotal role in getting teachers in a thing. Joel is a graduate of MTSU. Joel?
Class of 1991, Blue Raiders, and graduated with secondary education degree, and went on to teaching, moved into coaching administration, central office, and now I drive a school bus all day long.
I love that. And you also taught at Riverdale, right?
I student taught at Riverdale,
At Riverdale
with
High
MTSU
School.
in agriculture,
Right.
and taught, learned many lessons. And I was there the spring they hired. I forgot his name. I'm gonna have to edit this.
No, that's good.
Football coach, all-time winning football coach.
Not Boots, who was it?
No, at Riverdale. We went to Alcoa High School.
Oh, I know the guy's name. They wanted to hire him in Cleveland.
Yeah.
We don't need to edit it.
Oh,
We just
I-
keep going. Well, somebody will know who
Okay.
that coach is.
No, that's embarrassing.
But I love the story. You gave a great quote just now. Tell us that quote you mentioned while you were getting your award.
I just always challenge educators to make sure you're making correct decisions for who you're making decisions for. Make sure it's for the kids,
Yes.
and making sure administrators are backing up teachers. I think coming out of the pandemic, teachers are tired, we're exhausted, but those that are sticking in it are true troopers.
Yes.
And we've got to encourage the next generation of educators to come on board. But education is probably not going to be the same it was when I started.
Yes.
It's
And you're
going to be a different field.
and JC, you're calling that the new normal. Why is
Yeah,
that?
it's the new normal. I mean, obviously, we cannot go back to the past. And so we've got to embrace change, but we got to look at what that looks like. And for us, public education is critical for our whole state.
Yes.
It is the grease for the wheels of democracy. And you got to keep public education going, and people don't understand how important it is. And that's why we have state legislators like Mike Sparks, Iris Rudder, so many, Charlie Baum, some great public servants that love public schools. They're trying to make a difference and help us get things done. I mean, like Iris Rudder was here today. She got an award. One of the things with that is that we're working on reducing testing, trying to move testing window back to the end of the year so we can maximize our time in teaching in the classroom. And I mean, it's critical, and so it's a partnership, but we've got to be, and as our keynote speaker said, we've got to be vulnerable. We've got to talk
Yes,
about
I loved her speech.
what our problems are, and be willing to say, look, we need help.
Yes.
And one of the things, and I'm going to be real critical here, that Rutherford County Schools has lacked is a communicator at the central office. If you're not communicating, and I know that we've tried to limit people's time speaking out on issues, we ought to increase their time. We need to let these people have a voice and talk about how we can improve, because together we can do it. And our teachers are phenomenal in our state.
Yes.
And like Joel said, Joel has been one of the ones, as he and I started out together, it was important for us to change and adapt as we gotten older. I mean, it's just a different world that we're setting into.
Yes.
And so, appreciate Joel, appreciate his commitment to education. We appreciate being here on the MTSU campus. Dr. McPhee, thank you for having us. Representative Sparks, thanks for coming out and spending the day with a bunch of teachers.
Yes.
That are just
Been
hungry
awesome.
and passionate for teaching.
Oh, been great folks. Love listening to feedback. Tell us the school bus story, because I've heard this story either from the Capitol or in the media, or maybe it was JC. Tell us about the school bus story.
Well, I drive school bus every day. I have since the pandemic, and then I go to the central office and do my day job, and then deliver kids back home. Just one of my favorite stories is Clarice, one of my little girls that rides a bus. She was a kindergartner the first year. She'll be a second grader this coming year. And she was a little short girl, always stood up behind the seat, kind of like this sign. And she'd go, "Bus driver!" And so I tell those stories about my kids on the bus, and teachers get a good laugh out of it.
Yes.
Kind of relax.
Well, the reason you started driving a school bus is because of
the shortage
COVID.
of bus drivers.
Yeah, how many did you have calling sick?
Well, we had 6 bus drivers retire when the pandemic hit.
Okay.
And so that was a big shock to a small community. And our 13 regular routes, we lost half our drivers.
And tell us where you're at again.
Polk County, Tennessee.
Okay. Yes.
And so we had to rally the troops. We had several coaches that had their license. Administrators, our high school administrator, high school principal drives a full-time route.
Wow.
Administrators drive, teachers drive. More than half our drivers are teachers.
Yes. Now, if somebody wants to join PET, JC, tell them where to go and how much. I know y'all had some kind of a special going on.
Yeah,
membership.
You can visit our website at www.proedtn.org. First year membership is $96, and our membership's $194 for a year, and it's half price first year, whichever that math adds up to. But
yes,
the first year is half price, and we'd love to have people join us. We're the non-political. We're not going to get in. We're not going to endorse political candidates. We don't give money to people. We're here to work with all the legislators up there, and as they shape policy, because what we've discovered at the General Assembly is that when you get a committed legislator, he's going to dig through the truth and really work with us. And like I said, we've got the Rutherford County delegation has just been phenomenal for us to work with. And they listen to teachers. They want teachers to come visit them and talk to them. We've set up calls for Representative Sparks in the past. He's been on our calls, and they want to hear from you. And if you've got to be anonymous, that's okay too. We've brought in teachers to talk anonymous at the General Assembly, so they can share with really what's on their heart and be on there. But I think Mike Sparks will protect your identity. I know he will. I know some of the other representatives will as well. They just want to know what's going on in the classroom and get your voice heard. I mean, that's the number one thing we've heard from the Rutherford County delegation is get your voice out there, get it heard, and then let's talk about the issues and how can we solve them effectively.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much for your time.
Thank you.
Take care.